Cyberpunk 2077, T-1 for a lot of people. Reviews are out, the embargo has been lifted for a lot of people. Unfortunately, it is a mess, both for players who are eagerly waiting to get their hands on the game, as well as the reviewers who are reviewing the game out there as well. We're going to talk about all of it, as well as Day 0 and Day 1 patch, the list of things that are confirmed to be fixed, as well as the list of bugs that are people encountering as they're playing the game, and so much more in this video. So you know what, without wasting no more time, let us begin. Alright, so we're going to do a quick recap of the news that we got today. First of all, launch trailer for Cyberpunk is out right now as we speak, really clean. We also have another news that now Cyberpunk will be making sure to put some sort of warning in-game for those that are prone to epileptic episodes, because you know Cyberpunk Night City, it is that kind of game. So that happened today, ladies and gentlemen. And finally, let's get to the reviews for Cyberpunk 2077. Yesterday, the embargo finally lifted for many game reviewers out there to finally talk about their experience, whether they've completed the game or they're still playing. A lot of people are still playing the game right now as we speak. And here are the quick summary that we learned. The main quest takes around 20 to 30 hours. It was expected, considering we learned a long time ago that the main quest is going to be shorter than that of Witcher 3. As expected, a lot of people are still praising the side quest, the graphics, the visuals and whatnot, but it is really interesting. And I'm gonna make a comparison here real quick to give you guys a summary of the scores that we have got so far, and also just to mention, many of the outlets out there are not giving out the scores because some of them are still playing, and also all these reviewers played it on PC, so we don't know the situation on the consoles for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, not to mention PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. That is a different story. Anyways, the Metacritic for PC, they gave it 91 out of 100, Game Informer 9 out of 10, GameSpot 7 out of 10. Well, yeah, we know what happened with GameSpot. Games Radar plus 5 out of 5, GameStar 91 out of 100, IGN 9 out of 10, that was interesting. Jukes Video 17 out of 20, PC Gamer US 78 out of 100, that was also interesting. PC Games 10 out of 10, PC Games N 9 out of 10, and VG247, they gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Now let me give you a comparison here real quick. This game has been in development for a very long time. It is considered one of the most anticipated, if not the most anticipated game for this gen. A lot of people are comparing the hype for this game as close to GTA. This is the most closest we're gonna get to getting a GTA game for this generation. I want to compare that score with The Last of Us Part 2, another big game that released this year. Metacritic gave it a 93 out of 100, Destructoid gave it 8.5 out of 10, Game Informer 10 out of 10, GameSpot 8 out of 10, keep that in mind, Games Radar 5 out of 5, IGN 10 out of 10, Pushcore 10 out of 10, US Gamer 4.5 out of 10, Venture Beat 95 out of 100, and VG247 5 out of 5. So that is really interesting, the fact that this game to some degree had much bigger hype than The Last of Us Part 2. So that seemed a little interesting to me. I don't know, I'm not trying to say that this game is better than that or that game is better than this. I'm just putting a comparison out there that might not make that much of a sense. Anyways, coming back to the game reviews, if we summarize every single review that's out there so far, the main thing you'll get are the bugs and issues, the glitching of NPCs, the T-poses, the combat glitches, all of that. The issue here isn't that, oh, the game is bad because it has bugs, but nobody knows if the review copies that people got have the Day 1 patch that everybody's talking about, because we know that the consoles will get Day 1 patch. We know that it is around 43 gigs, and we learned after the reviews that one CD Projekt developer said that it's going to be an entirely new game after the Day 1 patch. So here, through Windows Central, they came up with a list of all the bugs, issues before the patch, and the ones that are promised to be fixed after the patch. So it is separated in Day 0 update and Day 1 patch. On launch, a lot of people are going to have a lot of updates and a lot of patches, so let's get started. Number 1 is scripting issues impacting NPC world and so much more. Basically, you get scripting issues that fails to trigger gameplay events or how events play out in the game world. These can be animations, audio, in game breaking issues like door not opening, characters seemingly missing, and whatnot. Then we get to reloading, game doesn't accurately restore game state. Then we get enemies may see you through walls or when dead, that's an issue. Cyberpunk 2077 crashing and other stability issues. Ray tracing not available with AMD graphics card, that is something we kinda expected, so I'm not too surprised on on that part. Then we got more bugs, such as invisible or missing NPCs or objects. This is the one that you might hear a lot of people are talking about it, but it's not that big of an issue. It's not the game-breaking issue. Then we got this one, which is considered as fixed. Weapons floating after killing some enemies. I've actually seen footage of this one actually, so I'm kind of happy that it has indeed been fixed. Then we get the T-pose characters in the open world. You might have seen this one too. However, this is gonna be fixed. Then we get the sound mixing bugs that I talked about in glitches. Missing inventory stats for weapons. I haven't seen that many people talking about it, but it is still there. So overall, these are all promised to be fixed by day one patch. These are the main issues that are being put out there by the reviewers that have played the game so far. Understand, not many people have completed the game so far, so it's likely gonna be that everybody's gonna play on day one with the day one patch. You get the day zero update that's gonna fix the issues that reviewers got. Then you get the day one patch, the intended plus game that'll change the entire scope of what everybody's talking about in terms of glitches, bugs, and whatnot. So overall, in summary, yes, these reviewers, great, fantastic, we got them, but without the day one patch, all of them seems a little pointless, because if they haven't played the game that we're gonna get to play, because we're gonna get to play the day one patch, then what is the point of looking at these reviews and taking them as the final verdict on the entire game? Not to mention, more quests are supposedly gonna be added in the coming weeks, months. So boys, no one can say anything until the game launches in a day, December 9th. Fingers crossed, we'll see how it goes. Cyberpunk 2077, the most anticipated game of this generation, or one of the most anticipated games of this generation, and I will leave you here with this trailer.